Dream Show. I'm Jane Teresa, and this is episode 276. And our guest today with a dream for us to explore and interpret is Tanya from Adelaide in South Australia. I've just finished talking with Tanya and interpreting her dream with her, and I'm putting the start of the show on. And I just wanted to say, before bringing you to Tanya and her dream, a thank you to so many of you who emailed me about the little change we made for the last 10 episodes of the Dream Show, where instead of having a guest on the Dream Show, as we have done since 2009 for most of our episodes, we took a little break, and for 10 episodes of the Dream Show, I was narrating my last book, Bird of Paradise. And one of the things that I loved, one of the comments I loved that I received from so many of you, was that some of you had read the book and yet felt that listening to the book through those podcasts added a different dimension, felt that there was more insight coming from listening to the narration than you had got from the book. And I guess that's the same with any book. You know, you read a book, I read a book once and I go back and read it again, and it will mean something slightly different because each time you read a book or you listen to it, it's measured alongside what you have experienced in life since the last time you read the book. But anyway, thank you for that. And for those of you who have been patiently waiting for a return to the guest format, here it is. A reminder for those of you who haven't listened to the Dream Show before with a guest, the way that we do this is I ask the guest to not tell me anything about the dream until we start recording, because I'm assured by so many of you that what you love to hear is me hearing the dream at the same time as you hear the dream and hearing the steps that we go through to talk about the dream and gradually interpret it and find insight for the dreamer. If you'd like to be a guest on the Dream Show, you can be anywhere in the world. You don't have to give your full name. It's as confidential as you would like to make it. Then I'll give details at the end of the show as to how you can put your hand up for that. Just before we go to Tanya, a reminder of my websites. There's janeteresa.com, that's Teresa without an H, where you can go to listen to every episode of the Dream Show that's ever been. You can read hundreds of blogs that I've written on dreams and dreaming. You can find out about my dream courses. And of course, you can also consult me. If you do consult me, I get you to send me the dream beforehand, at least 24 hours beforehand, so I do have time to work with it before we speak. But for now, let's go straight over to Tanya and her wonderful dream. Welcome to the Dream Show, Tanya.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure, and we're both in Australia. You're in Adelaide in South Australia.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, beautiful weather here today. We've had a lot of rain, but today is just a stunning day. So.
Oh, that's so lovely. It's a Sunday that we're recording. Have you had a good day? It's mid-afternoon. It's 3:00 my time, 2:30 your time on a Sunday for everyone listening in. Australia is a continent with all kinds of time zones in it, but we've both have a bit of a day so far. Have you had a good day so far?
So far, yeah, it's been lovely and relaxing. So, yeah, this is making it even better. So,
oh, that's good. That's fantastic. Well, as you know, I have no idea what dream you're going to bring me. So tell me your dream.
Okay. So it starts off, I'm in a house with my daughter and we're just happy and playing, but we're playing with all these different animals around us. And I'd spoken to my old neighbours, and they were saying, oh, you should come over and meet some people. And I'm playing with this little puppy, fits into the size of my palm. And I say to my daughter, look, we've had this puppy a long time. I should actually take it back to the nurse. So I go there, and there's so many people there, and it's like a party. There's so many people. I've got no idea who they are. I'm a little bit confused because I've suddenly looked down at my clothes and I'm wearing like pajamas and a dressing gown. I'm shown into a room where there were these 3 young men, and I walked in like I was a queen, and suddenly I became a prize in the main event, and I'm going, oh no, I don't like this. How do I get out of this room? So then someone said, "Oh, come with me, and I'll take you out." Then suddenly I'm wearing baggy black bathers, and I'm feeling uncomfortable, and I'm going, this looks terrible. And the guy starts laughing at me, and he goes, "Oh, you don't look that bad for your age." And he goes, "What are you, 30?" And I said, "No, I'm 52." And I'm thinking, I have to get out of here. So I walk out into a room, and I see that there's a bathroom, and I'm shown a white toilet, but it's quite exposed, as in the room's got open slats, like wooden slats that you can see through. And I'm thinking, I actually can't go here. It's not private enough. So I start walking. I walk out the door, and then I go into a room, and it's suddenly how can you describe it? It's like a rock pool. So there's all water, there's rocks everywhere, and people are in their bathers. They're sitting on these rocks, and the water is the most clearest turquoise color with lots of fish flowing through it. And there's a rock that is actually hovering in the air. And people are on it going, "Come up here." And I start climbing up, and I'm going, "But there's no toilet here. I can't go to the toilet on a rock." So I leave the area, and I start to walk through this house, and it's a bit like a maze. And then I walk the room that I go into. There's all those young men again, and I sit on the ground because there's nowhere to sit, and I'm sitting on ant nests and spider holes. And I think, I can't sit here. I've got to get up and move further down the wall, sit on this wall that everyone's on. So I get up and I sit down, and everyone goes, "Oh, what are you down there for? Why won't you sit with us? Are you too good for us?" And I'm thinking, I need to get out of here again. So I'm going from room to room. I go into another section of the house, and it's stunning. It's like a Japanese orientated. There's soft pinks and yellows. There's like little small flowers everywhere with little wooden bridges. And there's these beautiful like material banners on the ceiling, and they're flowing with the air, and just blossoms everywhere. It's just absolutely stunning. I wish I could describe how beautiful it is. And I'm looking around, and as there's the top silk banners are flowing, I I touch one, and then all of a sudden it just starts recoiling. The ceiling all starts to roll backwards, and I'm trying to catch this white ribbon from unraveling. And it's going through the house, and it's going like, that's the sound that it was retracting. And I look up, and there's a lady, and she's looking really shocked. And I say, "Can you hear it? Can you hear it all unraveling?" Then the next thing I know, I'm back in my house with my daughter. It's light and it's breezy, and I'm so grateful to be home. I woke up.
Oh, so grateful to be home, even though you'd been in some wonderful places on the way.
Yeah, it was an adventure, that's for sure.
It certainly was. Okay, I was writing that down as you were speaking and having a look back through it. So there was one thing you did say to me before we started talking. You said the only thing I knew about it, you said it's a circular dream. It ends where it began. And it certainly did, didn't it? But
Yes.
when you, at the end of the dream, you were back in your house and you were grateful to be home. Were the animals still there at that stage?
No, no. It was just her, just my daughter. And I remember walking through the gate and just going, "Oh, thank God, I'm home." It just had such a safe feeling.
A safe feeling, or like a comfort zone kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you, even though it was a comfort zone feeling, did you have a feeling that you had kind of enjoyed some of the good parts of the adventure, or was the whole thing really, on balance, not good?
I really loved being in that Japanese style room. I was in awe of the river or the water. That was just stunning. It reminded me very much of like an Avatar movie, like with the colors. But that room, that Japanese style room was, I can still see it, and I just wish I could describe the beauty of that room. So I loved that until I touched the banner. So,
It's oh, that's interesting. I wonder if in Banner whether there's a play on words of banning something there. You know, you must not touch this. spanner. You are banned from touching the spanner. There's often when there's a part of the dream where you say like, oh, I really wish I could describe this. It's like the key of the dream. And even though there's lots of toilets that you can't use and people being rude to you in the dream and needing to get out of there, it's almost like that is the touchstone of the dream. That beautiful Japanese, that feeling is what you really wanted to, I guess, get in touch with. But when you did try to touch it,
Yes.
you used two words. You said it recoiled, and then you said later it was unraveling. Something that you almost get in touch with it because it's so beautiful and you're so in awe with it. But when you reach out to get in touch with it, there's a sense of recoil and of things unraveling and getting out of your reach. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, actually that makes sense. Yes.
It makes sense to life, or in the
Makes
dream.
sense to life. Yeah. There's like a venture that I would like to look at doing. And to me, it's going to be beautiful, but I guess there's that fear. So that makes sense what you were saying.
Okay, that's great.
Maybe that fear.
That puts some context as we go into the rest of the dream, that we can look at that. And I was really struck by, and you probably were too, by when you were at the rock pool before, and there was the floating rock. That had
Yes.
a similar kind of feeling to me, the way you told it, to the floating silk banners in the Japanese room as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did it? Was that just me, or did you have that feeling?
I hadn't thought of it. I don't know. I can't seem to connect the two.
No, that's okay. It might have just
Yeah.
been me. It was that sense of being in a beautiful place with something kind of hovering or up there or above,
Yeah.
and that you wanted to be on the rock, but you couldn't go up there because it didn't have a toilet on it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was certainly a place of beauty, and I think I was in the dream distracted by it was like, oh wow, then it was there's no toilet. When I was in that other Japanese room, I didn't even think of a toilet. I think that's the different feeling between the two. I was just so mesmerized by this
Yes.
amazing feeling.
Yes, yeah. There's often a dream will start by introducing a situation or a theme that the rest of the dream is going to explore, and we will go back and look at that. And then as the dream goes on, there's usually a question or a problem that comes up, and you had several, and we'll look at those. And then the dream goes on, which is your dreaming mind while you're asleep, to try to resolve those, take different approaches at resolving those. So it's almost like at the rock pool part, you almost had this feeling, well, I could elevate to this lovely, I could be in this sense of awe in this lovely place and perhaps be in touch with that beautiful thing up there. But oh no, that's right, that's not going to work because I need the toilet, and we'll go into that later. And then later on, something happens, we'll go back and look and see what it was. And then you have another go, okay, this time we're doing the version without the toilet, without the need for the toilet. We're doing the Japanese room and what are the issues there. Yeah. So when I look back, what happened between you were at the rock pool and there was no toilet, and then you went back into the house and it was like a maze, and there were the young men again. You had the ant nest and the spider holes, and nothing was really right, and you just realised, I've got to get out of here. I've just got to get out of here. Yeah, and so then you try again. You try again to access that beautiful feeling and sense of awe in the Japanese room, but without being focused on the ant nest and the spiders and the young men. I'm trying to read what I wrote there. That the young men said to you, "Are you too good for us?" Right? Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So to me, there's a feeling of, in the beautiful floating rock part of the dream, there was a sense of, oh, I could do this. I'd love to be up there, but there's an issue. It hasn't got a toilet. And a toilet will often mean, a toilet is a place where we need to let go, release something, not physical as in a real toilet in waking life, but often let go of an emotion, or let go of all that crap or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've got to let go of all that. So in the rock pool versions, I'd love to be up there, but I can't because I've got all this stuff that I really got to let go of. I can't really do that because I'd still have all this stuff that I'm carrying.
Yeah.
And then before you get the Japanese version, what you attend to about that is you get stuck in a maze, you get grounded with all these other irritating things like an ant nest and spiders' holes. Nothing more irritating than an ant nest when you're sitting on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the fear that comes up, are you too good for us? So if you look at everyone in a dream as being a part of the dreamer,
Yes.
it's you at that stage questioning, am I good enough? Or why am I judging whether what other people feel about me? Why am I judging myself?
Yep. Yes.
Right.
Yep. That's
Am I,
making a lot of
yeah.
sense. It really is.
Am I saying to myself, am I good enough for, am I too good for myself? Am I not good enough? Just can't quite get it right. Maybe used to feeling in waking life criticized by other people as being, I don't know, too good for us. Where does that come up in your life? A feeling that other people will think you're too good for them?
Um, I guess there's been areas in my life where it's just like, where someone's just said to me, "Oh, you're too good for me. I'm not good enough." And I would always think, "Oh, no, no, yes, you are," and do the whole people pleasing or make you
Yes.
feel better at the expense of myself.
Myself. Okay. So you've put the nail on the head. It's the people pleasing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so if we go back to the rock part, I'd love to be up there, but I can't because I've got all the stuff that I'm carrying that I can't let go of. And it's around the irritations, the antness of having to please people all the
yeah,
time and miss out myself. And so then you kind of understand that because you hear that spoken in the dream, are you too good for us? I've got to get out of here, you think.
mm-hmm.
So it's you going, I've got to get out of this mental attitude of pleasing people. I've got to get
Yeah,
out of that. So then we have another go, okay, if I can let go of people pleasing, I can be in this awesome Japanese place and I
yes,
can get in touch with what I really want. But there's still something in my way because it's kind of recoiling from me and retracting. There's something in me that believes that I still can't quite get in touch with it. It's not for me at this stage.
mm-hmm. The insecurities. Yes,
Yeah, the
yeah, yeah,
insecurities. But I just want to put that on hold because there's a lot more there that really
yes,
helps us to understand. And I want to go back to the beginning of the dream.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where you were and your daughter were in your. Was your daughter her current age at the beginning of the dream?
Yes, she is. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Same
Uh,
age.
And how does she live with you?
She does. Yes,
Okay.
she's 27.
27. So because she lives with you and the dream was featured in your actual house?
Uh, yes, it was. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So she might just be there because she's the person that you talk to in your dreams rather than representing anything about herself. But
yeah,
we'll come to that. But you're at home, you're feeling very comfortable, you're playing with animals, and in particular with a tiny little puppy.
yes. It was so miniature; it just sat in my hand. So,
What kind of breed was it?
do you know? It reminds me of like a little Jack Russell. So,
Mm.
a little short haired, little squishy puppy, but it wasn't mine. It belonged to the neighbour. So I had to give it back to the neighbour. So I thought I've had this puppy a very long time now.
I've got to give it back.
Yeah.
What's the personality of a Jack Russell, in your opinion?
Um, oh, they're busy little dogs. I used to have one. They they're brave, yappy. um, yeah, funny little creatures.
And little, yeah, brave, and it was in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was it feeling sitting in your palm of your hand, do you think?
Oh, it was cute and warm and happy. It was just yeah, just such a lovely feeling
Right,
in my hand.
in
Yeah.
your hand. And it wasn't yapping in your hand.
No, no, it was very relaxed.
And when you said you had a Jack Russell in the past,
Yeah.
looking back, roughly what was happening in your life at that time?
Oh, well, I just had my daughter, so it was a long time ago. Um, and yeah, her name, what the little Jack Russell's name was Scout, and she used to catch rats because the neighbours had a compost heap and they stirred it and there were all these rats nesting there. And I just remember walking out the back and these dead rats everywhere. But she was a brave little dog, very cute, very
Oh,
loyal.
that's really lovely. So, from what you're saying, she also took you back to the time when you had your daughter. So it's like,
Yes,
I'm now a mother. Was your first child?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm now a mother. I've got something to look after, someone to look after, something else in my life, and all the wonderful things about perhaps new beginnings.
Yeah,
But as you described the Jack Russell there, as something that's very brave and can go out and get all the bad things like the rats.
yeah.
So, yeah. So when we tend to dream of animals in our dreams, when we tend to have animals in our dreams, they often will represent, sometimes they represent our instincts, like our animal instincts, and sometimes they represent parts of ourselves that we're still getting used to being in touch with. So it's almost like we haven't grown them up to be a person that you can put a name to and a face to and understand. It's more a feeling, and animals have, it's like the feeling, a part of it, something in your life at the time of the dream felt like having something warm and comfortable and playful and soft and lovely and brave in the palm of your hand, and perhaps a new beginning as well because it reminded you
Yeah.
of your daughter being born. There's all that kind of sense in the palm of your hand, but it was a new feeling. It feels like it was a new feeling because it was, well, it was tiny. So it was
Yes,
something new
yeah.
and tiny, but it hadn't sort of grown up into something that you could consciously have a conversation with, a part of yourself that you could have a conversation with and understand. It was more a feeling,
Yeah.
and its instinct was to be brave and to look out for rats and all the bad things around you.
Yeah.
So at the time of the dream, which was how
I
long
was
ago?
probably October. I'd say like mid-October.
Right, so a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Was there a sense there that either you were holding the seed of something new and lovely and comfortable in the palm of your hand that would have required some courage, or were you imagining it and conjuring up this idea and sort of playing with it in the same way that you were playing with the animals in the dream?
I think I was playing with it the same as in the dream. Like I said, there's a sort of a new venture that I'm sort of looking at doing, and that certainly makes a lot of sense because I was playing with it at that time and
Yeah.
thinking, have I got the courage,
Yes.
etc.
Have
Yeah,
I got the
yeah,
courage, and will I be able to deal with all the rats that might turn up at the back
yes,
door?
yeah,
Without asking you, with everyone listening in, I would ask you if everyone wasn't listening in, but can you picture what those rats might be?
yeah, definitely people.
Okay, definitely people.
Yeah.
Okay. So talking about people, there were neighbours next door, and the puppy actually belonged to the neighbours.
Hmm.
What kind of energy did the neighbours have? What do you feel that those neighbours represented? Because the puppy was
Um,
theirs.
Yeah, no, they neighbours were beautiful. They're actually neighbours that I used to live next to a year or two ago, who were always very helpful, very lovely, genuine people. So yeah, it was a
Okay.
nice neighbours.
So this dog, this lovely new idea that you were thinking about 2 months ago and getting a feel for and playing with, was something that may have originated either a year and a half ago when you had those neighbours, or
Hmm.
originated from a place of, as the neighbours were representing, from a place of lovely, supportive, everything that you described about them there. But there was a
Hmm.
sense that you had to let go of the puppy and give it back.
Yeah, yeah. Um, hmm, I'm not sure.
Mm. We'll come
I
back to
don't
that.
know.
Yeah, we'll come
Yeah,
back to that. It's just
yeah.
interesting. It was something that, a new idea that you couldn't actually, you felt at the beginning of the dream. I guess we simplify it by saying, I'm playing with this idea. I'd love to hold on to it, but for some reason I can't hold on to it and let it grow. I've got to send it back to its rightful owner, or to
Mm.
where it came from, or it's not for me now.
I think it's just an insecurity. Like,
Yes.
do I have enough knowledge? Will I be good at it? Yeah,
Yes.
just a lot of self-doubt there, I think. playing
Okay.
with that. Yeah,
Oh,
ego side.
yeah, and that makes sense of the fact that those old neighbours were very supportive kind of people. Because I'll give this idea to a part of myself that is maybe more supportive of myself than I
Yeah,
feel at the moment.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so the rest of the dream then goes on to explore that feeling of how much do I feel that I am. What was the word you used exactly?
Like that
Insecure.
insecure.
Insecure. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Actually, yes, yes.
So
Oh,
the
I
rest
can
of the
see this pattern now. Yeah, I can
Okay.
see it. Yeah.
Oh, so you've done this before, have you, Tanya? Felt
Oh,
insecure and given back a good idea.
funny about that. Yeah, yeah. I have done that, but now the rest of the dream, it's just starting to completely, yeah, unravel in front of my eye. I can
Unravel.
see. Yeah, there we go.
Right,
Anyway,
great.
yeah,
We'll,
no,
we'll,
this is
we'll,
good.
we'll, we'll fill in the dots. That's really lovely. So the beginning of the dream then says, okay, Tanya, here's a situation where yet again you've got this lovely, great idea and it's fantastic. It makes you feel really good. You're playing with it. It would take a bit of courage. You would have to deal with some rats at the back door. But oh dear, you feel insecure about this. Let's go on and process the issues, why you feel insecure, what you can do about it. And that's the rest of the dream. And then whether your dreaming mind, while you sleep, can come up with a solution, can problem solve this for you.
Yeah,
So we're hoping A, that it will problem solve, or B, that it will show you where the insecurity comes from and why you've got it, so that you can go, don't need that. You can say, I don't need that in life anymore. Or as you said a couple of times in the dream, I need to get out of here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the first thing that happens is you go next door and there's a party. There's a lot of people there and it's all going pretty well. And do you feel comfortable until you notice that you're in your pajamas and dressing gown?
Yeah, I felt sort of comfortable. It was sort of like, oh, this is, I mean, I'm not a big social person anyway, but it was sort of like, okay, there's a lot of people here. That's okay. And then it was just like, what am I wearing? What's happened?
Okay, what should you have been wearing?
Probably day wear and not my pajamas to a party. So yeah, so I was sort of uncomfortable, not feeling dressed appropriately for a party.
Not feeling dressed appropriately. And
Mm-hmm.
the actual pajamas and dressing gown you had on the dream, were they actually nice, appropriate pajamas and dressing gown for being in your own house, or were they pretty yucky?
Oh no, they were really pretty. It was like a pink silk. It was like very nice, probably nicer than what I own in real
That's
life.
great. So interesting, it was pink silk, like the Japanese room had a lot of pink silk in it.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you went to the party wearing something that was very relaxing, probably something better than your own pajamas and dressing gown, something that had the pink, silky, Japanese, really lovely, awesome kind of feeling, but it was totally authentic and appropriate for you, but you felt it was not appropriate for the party.
Yes,
We could or could not then go about people pleasing by wearing the kind of clothes that would be appropriate for the party.
yeah,
But
yeah,
so insecurity then started out. Here is me, Tanya. I'm really a pink, silky kind of person, in some kind of essence of my being, not necessarily
yeah.
the clothes. But I feel uncomfortable when when I realise that I'm not appearing in ways which are expected by other people or other situations.
Yes. Oh yes,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
So if the idea that you've got is a pink silky kind of idea, metaphorically, then
Hmm.
right here the dream's saying, well, I can see why you're feeling insecure because there's your pink silky idea, which is absolutely perfect for you, but you're already worried about how will other people perceive that, and is it appropriate? Is it going to fit into other situations? Are people going to want it? What are people going to
Yes.
think of me?
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we're still at the dream. You in the party. Sorry, you're confused as to why you've got the pajamas and dressing gown on, but we've worked that out. And then you're in the room with the three young men, and you feel like a queen.
Yeah. I walked in like I was royalty. I was just like, oh yes, I'm here.
That's great.
I've arrived. And then it was sort of like, oh no, no, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I imagined.
And that was still wearing your pajamas and dressing gown.
Yes, it was still wearing that. Um, and then I think one of them took me out the room, and I ended up wearing these baggy black bathers
That's
that were
right. Yes.
terrible.
Yeah. So when you say you feel like a queen, are there times in life where you sometimes say to yourself and use those words, I feel like a queen, or I don't feel like a queen? In what context do you use the word queen when you talk about your life?
Um, do you know what? Probably when I'm really like really happy with here we go, what I'm wearing. If I'm feeling really good about myself, or I've got that confidence, I sort of go, yep, I'm very happy with who I am, and yeah, I feel great. I feel like a queen.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
mm,
So we go straight from the dream to realizing that you don't feel like a queen in the pajamas and dressing gown to thinking, actually, I do. I do feel
mhm.
like a queen, to very quickly, no, I don't. In fact, it's even worse now. I'm wearing baggy black bathers. And for our international leavers, our international audience, bathers are swimming costumes, togs, swimmers,
Yeah,
all the other words that we use to describe the stuff that we wear when we go swimming.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it got even worse, your
It did.
insecurity.
Yes, it did.
What kind of person wears baggy black bathers, or have you ever been in that situation in your life?
Um, no, they were just incredibly ill-fitting, and I just looked at myself, what am I wearing? Like, why would I choose this? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was almost embarrassing. Like, this looks terrible. Um, mm,
So it's quite making a distinction between the earlier pajamas and dressing gown, which were actually really nice and you liked them and were kind of authentic Tanya, to
yeah,
this other baggy costume, which is like, why would I wear that? That's not even me. That's really uncomfortable. So
yeah,
there may have been a sense in the dream there as I do feel like a queen. I feel confident, but actually the moment I feel confident, I actually feel the exact opposite. I just feel not even being authentic. I'm just feeling like I'm just showing up as the worst possible thing that I could do. As soon as I feel confident, I zoom off into the opposite corner.
yeah, 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 yeah. I can see areas in my life where I do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, I'm wondering already whether that confidence of reaching out to touch the Japanese ceiling is the same. Like as soon as I touch that, I'm out of it. I'm back in the ant's nest. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 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 And that's a fear. That is definitely a fear that, yeah, it seems to be portraying a lot in
Well,
this dream.
we'll go back to the dream in a minute, but
Mm.
because you're sort of responding to that very well, what are your feelings about confidence, or have you already got an idea about your beliefs about confident people? About if someone's confident, then they're going to have a fall, or is there something around that?
I think that confidence comes with a lot of self-assurance and knowledge, where there's no doubt. So I probably have a high expectation of what I believe it is. And for some reason, I will, if I have a small doubt, or I don't think I know enough for a certain situation, then I
All right, okay. So
lose it. Mm.
to feed that back to you in a kind of almost shocking way, I won't start a new project or put myself out in the world in a certain way unless I'm absolutely brilliant already at every single bit, and so expert that taking on this role is not actually going to teach me anything at all because I know it all already.
That's it. And I won't fail. So then
You
there's
won't
no
fail.
fear. There we are.
Where-
Nail on the
Whereas,
head. Yeah.
whereas most of us start new things or start new projects or launch them because part of it is the excitement of, I don't know much about this, but I'm going to learn as I go and it's going to be so exciting. And you're
Yes.
not allowing, or there's a belief in you that it's not open to allowing that possibility of growth through taking on this new project, job, business, whatever it is. So the
Hmm.
dream is feeding that back to you and saying, so you're saying you don't want to, or you don't feel confident that you can do this thing or this
Yeah.
business or this whatever it is while also learning.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's an incredibly high expectation that I
it's
have
very
carried through
high.
my whole life. Yeah.
And
I
in
still try
fact,
new things. So
yeah, I know, and you do,
yeah.
and you're being a guest today, which is a new thing as well. So you're very courageous and wonderful. Um, there's a sense that if you run a business, then you might start out with an idea, and then you might judge by whether or not the idea flies. You might go, oh yeah, that's really good, so I'll just amplify that. You might go, that's not quite working. So what do I need to do? Yeah, if I just change this a bit, so you actually are in any new venture. you are actually monitoring and changing it as you learn, as you receive information. And all because you didn't go into it a total complete expert knowing exactly what product to put out there and what to charge from the beginning.
Yeah.
The success is in playing, listening, feeding, tweaking. So it's more a necessity for confidence that you can go with the flow rather than a confidence of be totally 100% right all the time, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. No, exactly.
All right. So we'll go back. I don't know at the moment why there were three men in the room, except that how old were they roughly?
I think they were about 23, 24 years of
Okay.
age.
So what was happening when you were 23 or 24 in this context?
Oh my goodness. I'd just gotten married. Um, it was a very different lifestyle back then. My husband at the time was a sportsman, so we were living a very, very different life. Probably quite an exposed life.
Right, okay. Yeah, so in that, and you don't need to say anything you don't want to say because we do have people listening in. But
Yeah.
you've highlighted exposure there, that sense of being exposed, which it runs through the dream, and you know, talking now and saying, basically, I don't want to be exposed unless I'm 100% confident. So you've got that theme running through there. And so that the sense of the black baggy bathers may fit in with all that was going on there as well.
Yeah.
Taking you back to that time. But as you say to them, look, you know, and that queen thing may have come in there. There may have been a sort of confidence about being the queen, and I've got this in this marriage with the sports orientated lifestyle. I've got this. Oops, no, I haven't got this. But your dreaming mind reminds you you're not 30 anymore, so it's added kind of a few years to that.
Yes.
And I'm now 52, so your dreaming mind is saying you have more experience of life since then.
Okay.
You don't have to do that. And as you say, in response to that, as I've written down here, I have to get out. I have to get out of this. I have to get out of this frame of mind. I finally have to get out of this insecurity thing.
Yeah.
So great, excellent, perfect thing to do when you need to get out of an insecurity thing is to see a bathroom with a white toilet because, hey, time to let go. I'm going to let all of this stuff go.
Yeah.
But you couldn't because it was exposed. It had open wooden slats. It wasn't private.
Yeah.
So there's again that sense of, do you feel sometimes in your life that it's hard for you to find private space to just sort of sit down and be by yourself and go through your thoughts and feelings, or?
Probably, yeah, I would say to a degree. I think it's kind of more of me ever sharing an opinion that I've got or speaking my truth. I feel very exposed, and maybe there's the fear of not being accepted. In that sort of sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So in the dream, there's a sense of I want to let go, but instead of being able to let go of my own private home and just let go of all these feelings and come out again, emerge again, feeling more comfortable, I'm feeling that even letting go, it seems to be a public thing. It's not private.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm guessing here, Tanya, but that could translate to if I let go of feelings of insecurity and other things and I change, in other words, I grow in a positive sense, then what are people going to think of me? I'm worried how other people are going to react to me or respond to me if I am changed in their eyes, if I'm not the old Tanya.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
It's would they sort of be open to seeing a new version of me, and how's that going to be accepted? And
yes,
there's a fear of that as well.
There's the insecurity rather than just it's their responsibility how they feel or not. This is the new me.
Basically.
If they don't like it, I'll move on. There'll be other people in other places. In fact, there'll probably be loads and loads of other people that are just dying to meet someone like me and feel, respond to what I'm trying to, or what I'm ready to give the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So again, your dreaming mind reminding you that this feeling of insecurity is coming from you, and
Hmm.
your most at top of the insecurity list is that feeling of how will people judge me?
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. All making a lot of sense.
Which is also how do I judge myself? If you look at everyone in the dream as a part of yourself, I'm judging myself too heavily here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah, we all do, but your dream is really pointing it out there. Yeah. So
Yes.
it's not private, but then amazingly, that's where you walk out and into the room that's like the rock pool with the water, the rocks,
Hmm.
people in bathers. Is that where we've got the turquoise clear water?
Yes, and although
Yeah.
the bright orange fish, it was stunning, like stunning. The water, the colors, and it was like clear, but it had such a depth and warmth to it.
It's so lovely. Clear, but such a depth and warmth. Let's remember to come back to that. So it's interesting that you walked out of the toilet that you couldn't use, which is a place for letting go
Yeah,
and basically clearing yourself. And in fact, coming to a place where the water was already clear and beautiful. So although you didn't use the toilet, there's a sense there that your dreaming mind is actually beginning to let go in the dream there already. Look what you've
beautiful.
done. The water is beautiful. It's turquoise. Yeah, it's blue.
Hmm.
And what was the three words that you mentioned there that I tried to remember and instantly forgot?
Clear. Oh my
Warm.
gosh.
Yeah, warm was one of
Depth.
them. Depth, that's
Yes,
right.
yeah. Even I'm
Clear,
forgetting them now. Yeah,
warm.
clear. It was warmth. The depth of the water was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. It was,
Everything was beautiful.
yeah.
And so I remember hearing the warmth and the depth. So it's almost like saying that part of the dream, you can. If you let go of all of this, if you just let go, what you're going to transform into is a clear kind of feeling or a clear energy that has great warmth and great depth. Of course, you've always had great warmth and great depth, but this is getting it out in the open. In the dream, you go from a room which is inside a house, which looks like it's outside because it's got the rock pool and
Hmm.
everything. So it's
Yes.
like I am ready to bring into the outer world this version of myself, which is I've always been there, but I'm ready to show it of
Yeah.
my warmth, my depth, my loveliness, my turquoise, my orange, my fish. What do orange fish mean to you?
Abundance to me.
Like feng
It just,
shui?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just see them and it's the orange is such a vibrant, rich color and just life. Just, yeah.
And the turquoise color?
Uh, um, yeah, a lot of happiness, yeah, warmth, clean, fresh. Yeah.
I, Tanya, have just glimpsed in my dream that if I can just let all this go, this is what I can be. I can be abundant. I can be fresh. I can be, you didn't use the word energetic, but you gave me that feeling of
Mhm.
energy, of life, of liveliness, of warmth, of depth. This is what I can have. And I'm ready for it. And I reach out for that beautiful floating rock. But I've just remembered the toilet. So
Yeah.
even though the dream has shown me that I can do this, I've still got this need to somehow let go that I can't quite manifest or find a situation or be ready to actually let go, even though I was almost in touch of what would actually be perfect there. The rock was hovering. It's almost like, why would a rock hover?
Yeah. It looked like the rocks out of Avatar, like where they would hover. Um, I remember, oh, what was I'm just trying to think of the feeling of when I saw that. It was like, oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, I'll climb up. But then I remembered, no, there's no toilet on there. You'll be stuck on the rock without going to the toilet.
You'll be
So
stuck,
I'll
yeah.
be stuck on it. Yeah.
And an Avatar, I mean, I have seen the first movie a
Mm.
long time ago. What sticks in your mind about Avatar?
I think it was the beauty and the freedom, and such a organic life. Um, that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
Yes. So what I, Tanya, am ready to also get in touch with is the beauty, organic side of life, whether literally or whether within myself. Organic within myself, kind of symbolically, would be my authentic self, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
There may also be a sense of organic there in going with the flow, in terms of what we were talking about earlier, not being the 100% impermeable expert to begin with, but being in the
Yeah.
flow and learning as you go. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So we've got all of that. And of course, a rock, beyond Avatar, a rock doesn't hover. So this
Yeah.
is something absolutely amazing and awesome that you actually do have the potential to do if you can let go. Yeah. So that's when you go back into the maze, and that's the part of the dream we've already talked about, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, if I can't get in touch with that, I'm back on this really irritating ant nest and all these spider holes. Oh, this is getting worse and worse. That's when you meet the fear of when they say, are you too good for us? So you're meeting all those fears again, and you finally say again, I've got to get out of here. You don't say I've got, you
Yeah.
say I need to get out of here. Enter the stunning Japanese room. In the Japanese room, when we talked about it before, we didn't mention, you said there were wooden bridges in it.
Yes. You know those you see them in the Oriental Gardens, the little arched bridges. So
Yes.
it was like these beautiful. It was still in a room, very very big room, but it was all like in like little soft hills with little bridges going over rivers, and it was just stunning. Mm.
I love that, soft hills.
Yeah.
So not impossible mountains,
No.
not craggy, rocky precipices, but my life could be soft hills. I could easily go from one side of the river to the other. There are soft bridges. It's soft. It's not hard. It's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, life is could actually be softer and more full of awe than the difficult, treacherous terrain that I sometimes imagine it could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in this lovely room, which had pink and yellow flowers in it, it would also align with the feeling of the pink pajamas or the pink dressing gown, the silk. It's more authentic. It's me.
Yes, yes, yeah. Everything just sort of tied in. It was just, yeah, so like I can still even feel the breeze that was in that room. Everything was just so beautiful and warm and lovely. So,
And do you think it was Japanese because that's what that conjures up, the soft bridges and the silk and the flowers, or is the Japanese element mean something else to you?
no, it doesn't mean anything else to me. I sort of don't know why that it came up like that. Probably because I'm just trying to think what it could be.
Do you do anything in your life like, yeah, you've got it, yeah?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking if I think about Japanese inspired things, there's a beauty, there's an elegance, um, just an authenticness, cleanliness. I don't know, just
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that's lovely.
Mm.
You keep coming back to that cleanliness as well, and in terms of not dirty, but a sense of transparency is what I'm feeling.
Yeah,
Cleanliness, purity,
yes,
authentic. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's reminding you of that. Remember, you do always have that little puppy dog that could, if necessary, get rid of the rats at the back door and leave you with a lovely, clean, authentic space.
Very true.
Yeah. You touched the silk banner. I suggested earlier that banner may or may not also be a ban or a limitation. And you've got the recoil and the unraveling.
Yeah,
And there's a female there that's shocked, a woman there that's shocked. Sorry, I just wrote female signs, so I said
yeah.
female. A woman that's shocked. Did you get a sense for how old she was?
Um, I would say she's probably in her 40s, and
Right.
just looking and like, what is going on? The look on her face. What have you
So
done?
if you go back to your 40s, which are not so long ago, was
Yeah.
there a situation where you remembered asking yourself, what have you done? Something's all unraveling,
Probably a lot of things.
like
Oh,
every other normal human being walking upon this planet.
exactly. Um, oh, I think just a lot of life choices. Actually, there's a number of them I could place my
Yeah.
finger on, but
The sense of shock that she had in the dream. So I'll just contextualize that a bit.
mhm.
Sometimes when we see either ourselves or another character in a dream with a real sense of shock, it can often come up when there's we have during the dream or in the couple of days beforehand actually changed a belief or shifted in some way that when we look back at the old belief, it's kind of like a shock. Oh, was I really like that? Did I really think that? That is shocking.
Yeah, it's just reminded me of a job that I took on that I had no confidence for. I was underqualified for, and it was an incredibly hard learning experience. And so that relates to so you're about to start something new. What have you done?
Right, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So it's so sad when these events that are actually we come across in life that teach us a huge amount of things actually get lodged as traumas that we won't revisit, and we'll definitely not try that again because look what happened last time. So it's kind of time to overcome that. I wanted to say something there and it's just jumped out of my mind. So yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. It must have not been important, but I really wanted to go along that track for a bit longer. Would you like to go along that track for a bit longer while I try to work out what it was?
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, so I think once I touched that banner or that the beautiful sort of silk material, and I just all started going back, and I think I said it's oh, it's not retracting. I'm just trying to. Oh, it's all unraveling.
Yeah.
And I just remember the absolute horror of what have I done? I've just ruined this whole room.
Yes, I just ruined this whole room. Whereas now you can see and understand when you look back that you felt that you weren't expert enough or trained enough to do that. But the thing that you're thinking of doing now, I'm pretty sure you are a lot more prepared to do than you were for that other job back then, would you say?
Yeah, it's going to be something very, very different to that job back then. I feel more confident in this one, but it's still the fear of not knowing enough.
Yes,
at the start. So
that trauma that goes back. Did you actually start that job, that older job?
Oh, yes, I did. I was at it for about 3 years.
Oh, it was a long time. And did you learn a lot while you were doing it?
I learned an incredible amount.
Right.
Yeah, incredible amount, like many lessons.
So when you look back on it, now looking back, was it a positive experience?
Yeah, I believe so. That I learned a lot, and I certainly learned how to back myself in different situations. So, and that job has helped me with many other aspects in my life where I've had the confidence to go, no, I've made it through that. I can do this, and applied things. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. So the dream may be a reminder of that no matter how fearful you may be setting out that you're going to repeat the trauma that you felt at the beginning of that job, your dreaming mind is, in a sense, I guess, giving you the shock of that actually it was a good thing. If you could do that, everything that you've learned that you just said about backing yourself and feeling confident, you can bring that in. That is no longer an issue. And that is when you hear it all unraveling. So let's put together the shock and hearing it all unraveling. May or may not be during the dream you processing, okay, I can see that if I still feel insecure or I don't have the confidence, my whole beautiful idea, my whole authentic, wonderful Japanese silk idea could just unravel and I could lose touch with it. Or I could this time go, no, I'm doing this. And I don't care what other people think of me. And I don't care, worst possible scenario, if everybody that knows me thinks that I'm extremely stupid from this change because there are loads of other people in the world just waiting for me to give this gift to the world and be confident about it. Yeah. So when you go back to the house at the end, knowing all of that, and you're so grateful to be home, did you feel it was a feeling in the dream of, oh, I'm out of all of that. I don't have to do any of that. I feel comfort zone? Or was it, I've learned something and I'm feeling comfortable? I think it was the first. What do you think?
100% the first. It was like, oh, I'm safe. Look, it's my home and nothing's changed and it's all beautiful and it's still very pretty and lovely and I'm safe. Yeah.
Right. So, there are a couple of ways to interpret that. One is you're stepping back into safe comfort zone and you don't want to go out and do these amazing, brave things in the world. That's one reading of it. The other reading is which is more positive.
Yeah.
I can always step inside myself and remind myself how beautiful I am, how clear I am, how authentic I am, how pink silk I am, how all of these things. And that is what matters. If I can always come back and just remind myself, move myself out of any situation where I begin to feel insecure, lack of confidence, all these other things. And just for that moment, even if in that moment I just close my eyes for a microsecond and think, just come back within myself for the moment. Who am I? This isn't about pleasing other people. Who am I? What is it I want to do? That's right. This is where I feel comfortable. Now, from here, I can step out and do these brave things like the puppy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. That's exactly right. And that so resonates. It's just beautiful. Yeah. I think
good.
That's a great way to see that end of the dream of, I've got all that inside and, you're making me really confident to get started on this.
So I'm not making you confident. I'm bringing out your confidence that's there and waiting to shine.
You're bringing out my confidence.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic.
That's lovely. What we do with the dream is we look in it to see our mindset, and then we can play with that and see what needs to go, what you need to get out of here, what can change, and play around with what needs to be changed. So I do want to do one other little dream alchemy thing, but are there any other questions or insights that you'd like to ask or share about the dream?
No, you covered everything. It's making so much sense, and I can see every part of it now. Whereas before I was sort of going, what is that about? But now I can go, okay, now I can relate to it. So thank you. Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure. I think from a dream alchemy perspective, and I'm going to leave you with this because of our time's probably getting a bit long for a podcast, but because you tried to reach out for that rock and you didn't touch it, and you tried to reach out for the silk Japanese stuff and it recoiled, there's a sense of reaching out for something. And I'd like to give you the suggestion that you maybe either visualize or paint a picture of not being able to reach outside to a rock or outside to a ceiling, but being able to reach inside you. So I'm not explaining this very well, but my version of this would be, and I'm not a very good artist, if I was doing this as a drawing, I'd do a kind of rough outline of a human being.
Yeah.
And inside of that, I would paint or draw the Japanese room, the ceiling, the floating rock. And I might put words around it like warmth and depth and confidence, just checking in with how I feel inside, or some of those words, so that, and it's a reminder, and it's a touchstone was the word I wanted to come to, because you didn't touch the stone in the dream, you didn't touch the ceiling, that this is a touchstone, that my Tanya's touchstone is always, like we said at the end there, to better reach inside, touchstone inside, this is who I am. I'm going forward in the world in this way. And I am not keeping this inside. I am bringing it outside and I'm showing it to people, but this is where I'm coming from. So to do that either in art or a visualization, so that you're reinforcing to your mindset and your unconscious mind that this is the touchstone, this is the important thing, this is what allows you to go forward and flow without worrying about what you do or you don't know, that you're going to enjoy the journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's beautiful. I can certainly do that. Yeah.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you for being a lovely guest on the Dream Show and sharing your beautiful dream.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This has been fantastic. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I so enjoyed talking to guests on the Dream Show, and it's lovely after our 10-month break to get back to that. If you'd like to be a guest on the Dream Show, all you have to do is go to my website at janeteresa.com. That's Teresa without an H. Go to the menu, go to the podcasts, and in the drop-down boxes, you'll see Be a Guest on the Show. It's all explained there. So, put your name in and I'll be in contact with you. Thank you for that. Thank you for listening to yet another episode of The Dream Show. If you do enjoy it, please do remember to let other people know, to share it. Everyone dreams. Yes, we do know that not everyone remembers their dreams, but most people are at least a little bit intrigued about what their dreams mean. And one of the main reasons for producing the dream show is to put it out into the world to help people just get some tips and some ideas and some understandings about how to begin to approach and understand our dreams. And that all begins by valuing the importance of dreams. I did forget, so do share the dream show with whoever, please. I did forget to mention my courses more at the beginning. So the courses are at the Dream Academy, and the address for that is dream-academy-online.com, where you can do various courses, beginning with the first course, which is called How to Interpret Your Dreams Step by Step. And you can do those in your own time, at your own pace. There's videos of me there talking to you. There's charts to download, notes, and yes, you can take your time and do that. You can also find your way to the courses from my main website at janeteresa.com. Have a wonderful month, and I look forward to talking with another guest and bringing you another show next month. I'm Jane Teresa Anderson.